football. It's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
We saw something last week you don't see very often. Team loses, but the quarterback, the trigger man, offensive player of the week in the AFC. That's pretty impressive.
You rarely see that. Of course, don't worry, folks. He said the obligatory, I would have traded that for a victory any day of the week.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but still, he must have played awfully well to win it when his team lost.
At the 21-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
48-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deontay Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
2nd and 11. Rolling to his right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense, because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here, the 32. Bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. Now remember, this this is the #1 defense in the National Football League, there's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
At the 20-yard line.
Mayfield to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Well, there was 2nd and long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give them a good 10 yards on the return, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On play action, they'll throw. Got a man open, it's Ross. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 21-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield over the middle. It's complete. He's at the 30, 10, and take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there, 79 yards, and the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. This is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
He's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The Bengals bring out their punter now. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
17. Browns 14.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically when you...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Austin Hooper. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
18 on the play. First down, Bengals.
Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Field. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Cincinnati.
John Ross with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead.
Point after.
Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. That'll be taken about a yard deep. Refusing to go down. And he returns this to the 22.
First and 10. At their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives. So a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator's a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
It's been an exciting sequence to watch. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for
the Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. On second down, this is Madison. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
He's tackled at the...
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On third down, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. That's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think
can't get away, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt.
Well, you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yeah.
He's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. A first down throw for Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. And finding the tight end Hooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Forced out to his left. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Hey, we gonna do what we do.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start, got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes in front office, the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 22 yards there, a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my God.
And he'll take this into the end zone for the Bengal TD. John Ross on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
The kicker on for the...
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So we've reached halftime in the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Right back to him on 1st down. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Cincinnati.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Brady Williams picks it off. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Roquan Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Mayfield throwing complete there to Hooper. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
The has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Going to give this time to the tailback. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
From the gun, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 39-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st? Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
He's brought down by Terrell Burgess.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And it's caught. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple more times to give them a chance.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Cincinnati.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 4 there, but those yard markers a ways away here. 3rd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, 49 yards. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just 1 shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protecting.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Bengals have recovered it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
He's tackled at the
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Brought down at the 30-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Down.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further.
48.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know.
Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long.
Brings up third down.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. Now they try the right side here. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Taken down at the 41. It's a gain of 4. And it's
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.